Dr. Manan Vora, you charted the journey from 0 to 600k plus.
Yeah.
What was the objective that you were looking at? Was it to get people from Instagram to your clinic down the line?
Doctors over the last few decades have been relying on word of mouth only, but today's generation is searching things online. So my entire mission has been that I am selflessly giving information out there. All you need to do is try and follow this so that you don't need me.
Wow.
But when I started my content creation journey 2021, I have been mocked on orthopedic WhatsApp groups. इसके पास कुछ काम नहीं होगा तो ये कर रहा है. ये देखो real doctors है, real doctors नहीं. You know, that is when I started saying that like यार, what am I doing?
Now when you look back and say that, oh, strategically, I think these three things were something that really worked well for me. What were those?
So consistency is one thing.
Yep.
Two, stay original and authentic to your style. And the third is, right now we've also reached a point in health where you don't need to be a doctor to speak health. जो non-fitness है, today they are waking up and saying I'm a health expert and doing it. People can do 3-month online courses and call themselves so and so.
Yeah.
Anything is happening. India is so vast. There is an audience for everything. Let's take 1 million as a number for success. 10 लाख लोग क्या है? कुछ नहीं है 10 लाख. इंडिया में 10 लाख आपको कहीं पे भी मिल जाएंगे. I'm pretty sure you can find your own 10 lakh people. You don't need to chase someone else's 10 lakh people.
Oh, I love that insight. I think that's a great
Just
line.
need to find 10 lakh
that
to
I've
be
heard.
successful.
Any doctor wanting to start content journey, give a blueprint.
What your process look like today? For anybody who comes across your profile, they will like, oh, okay, he's an orthopedic surgeon. But why is he talking about anything else that has got nothing to do with orthopedic? Dr. Manan Vora, welcome to Digitek Presents The Creator Room.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Anish bhai, thank you for joining us today as well.
Again, thank you so much. And when we say Dr. Manan Vora, it's MBBS Dr. Manan Vora. So doctor,
Doctor.
not doctor of philosophy.
I speak to a lot of doctors, even at LeverageX where we work with a bunch of clients. And when I speak to these doctors, a lot of them have this question about like, dude, but I see a lot of patients in a day. I mean, why should I really create content? What are the three reasons you would recommend doctors to create content?
So, one, I think in today's day and age, you will not find a way to build trust faster, right? Doctors over the last few decades have been relying on word of mouth only.
Correct.
But today's generation is searching things online,
Yeah.
right? You can have a Google My Business page. You can nowadays they find ways to put a 5-star review, 300
Yeah.
reviews. It's not very difficult to get that, right? Whether it's organic, not organic. But to put yourself out there, just imagine when you guys were, seeing doctors growing up or your parents were seeing doctors growing up. Most cases when you went to a doctor, you didn't even know how the doctor looked till the door opened.
Correct.
And you see that typical shirt, tie, grey hair, little belly, stethoscope look. Okay, have to create that stereotype for people in their mind, but that is the picture they had of a doctor in their mind.
Yeah.
You have the ability to be in front of them on a screen where that first barrier of trust is created without them actually coming to see you.
Yeah.
So one, no better way to find that trust. Two, your ability to convert a patient from a basic consultation to any service offering, should they genuinely require it,
Correct.
will be extremely high if they have already seen you 20 times before they come to you.
Trust.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm referring to a term that we doctors now call as doctor shopping.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
patients are doing something called doctor shopping.
Oh.
You come to me, I tell you, look, you genuinely require this. Okay, of course, we can go deeper into are some doctors recommending something that's not actually required, unethical, all that is separate.
Yeah.
Okay, you have rotten eggs in different parts of the country, in different parts of industry.
Yeah.
Opinion,
Correct.
whatever,
Now, I am not against second opinion and third opinion,
Yeah.
but in many cases, the second opinion and third opinion will match the first opinion.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, the point comes is the patient has to ask that why should I go for doctor number 1, doctor number 2, doctor number 3,
Correct.
right? So there will be different things. One, आपके level of experience क्या है, कितने years, आपने ये procedure कितनी बार किया है, नहीं किया है, आपका आप ये hospital में कर रहे हो या वो hospital में कर रहे हो, ये room का size क्या है, room का size क्या है, मेरा cashless insurance है, मेरा cashless insurance नहीं है, you will do it in this much time and discharge me on day 2, or you will do it in this much time and discharge me on day 5. What is your success rate? How many reviews do you have? How many, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right? You are going to go through that process where you are evaluated. Now, if you have already established trust by being your organic, authentic self, and this doesn't mean just getting a videographer and putting 30 videos a month on that one particular topic, but about showing your journey, talking a lot about your life so that the opposite person sees you as a human, not just as a doctor.
Yeah.
Your ability to upsell your service from just a consultation to a procedure to a surgery or build that level of comfort will be far, far more. And the third thing is the level of satisfaction that they will have because they have already been attached to your journey. And that level of satisfaction goes a long way in actually improving the health outcome of the procedure that you do, as well as dissolving any minor issues that may happen.
Correct.
Like nowadays, patients are very vocal about the smallest of things that didn't go the way they wanted. Like आप कैसे रेस्टोरेंट में जाके आपने एक पीस ऑफ हेयर देखा तो आप 1 स्टार दोगे, आप बिल फ्री में मांगोगे, आप ये करोगे वो करोगे. Similarly, nowadays, if you go slightly haywire in anything, some staff nurse has taken a second prick to put the IV cannula in, they'll remember that also on your follow up and say, पर मैंने वहां एडमिट हुआ था तभी तो beautifully sister ने किया था. You're sitting as a doctor with a staff of 15 people or working in a hospital where you don't even know which sister has touched the patient, but they remember that journey was wrong with you.
Correct.
So to mitigate all these minor things, that is natural. It's possible. It's going to happen at somewhere or the other. Just by you creating that lovely, genuine bond through a screen, they will overlook all these things and just say, नहीं यार, आपसे हमने मिला, आपने प्रोसीजर किया, आप स्माइल करते हो, आपके साथ हमें जो विश्वास मिलता है, आपके साथ जो हमें सक्सेस. Like I literally get one of the most common things I hear because of the way I create content is, आपके साथ मिलके ही 50% हमारी प्रॉब्लम दूर हो गई. Now even I know that I have not done any magic. मेरे से बात करने से 50% प्रॉब्लम कैसे दूर होगी? मेरे स्पीच में तो कोई इफेक्ट नहीं है. But that comfort level that you are able to create.
Again, it comes back to trust.
One more thing is, if you go through 500 videos in your niche, can you imagine you can reduce your consultation timings because most questions would have been answered. So you can just politely tell them. You can just politely tell them कि मेरे स्टाफ आपको ये लिंक भेज देंगे. मैंने ये ब्यूटीफुली एक्सप्लेन किया. You can make a 25 video YouTube bank of 10 minutes explaining each and everything and just put it out there, not to go viral on YouTube, but just so that when your patients get all the treatment and they're like, पर डॉक्टर ये, पर डॉक्टर ये, पर डॉक्टर ये, don't worry, ChatGPT को नहीं पूछना है आपको, Google को नहीं पूछना है, हमने ये सारे videos बना लिए.
This is one of the best
अरे भाई,
advice that I've heard.
कंटेंट क्रिएशन में भी तो मैं यही करता हूँ. अभी मेरे पास कोई नया आता है तो मैं बोलता हूँ यार ये 25 वीडियो मेरा देख ले पहले
देख ले.
इसके बाद भी तेरे पास सवाल है तो मेरे पास आना.
Absolutely.
That is how I'm meeting less people now. The amount of people I used to meet in 2022, 3, 24, even till 25, now I meet like 5 people in a month. I'm like ये पहले ये सारे वीडियोस देख लिए क्या? ये बिना देखे तो आना ही नहीं मेरे पास. Right? So same thing, yeah. I'm so relating.
I think what we do is whenever there is a new person who's joining the team, right? We do the same thing. We record all the stuff and we say that, what's this?
SOP
read these SOPs, read all of this, and if you have question, then ask.
And then if they come up with one question that wasn't there, that's your idea for the next video.
That's your idea for the next
because
one.
someone else 6 months later will also have the same question. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Another question a lot of doctors have, and I'm sure I would like to hear from your POV. Every minute spent in creating content, researching, scripting is a trade-off between I could have been doing the surgery or consulting a patient. How did you really think about that ROI?
Absolutely. So again, there's two things. One is content happened at a time when I was still actually investing money in upskilling myself. Right? I was not making money at that time at all. So for me, it was more about, let me just put myself, see what happens in the future. I also had this weird knack of getting some opportunity every 2-3 months that just motivated me so much to continue. Because
what kind of opportunities?
It could be something like a book deal, even for that matter, talks here and there. You won't believe, I went to Chennai and spent 1 year with a senior orthopedic surgeon who taught me skills that have shaped the next 3 decades of my life. Based on that 1 year in Chennai, I got faith to invest in a 2,000 square feet space coming up in Bombay, which is coming up in 5 months from now.
Wow.
My own venture, because of the skills I learned 1 year in Chennai. I got the opportunity because he slid into my DMs.
Oh, wow.
Saying that, seeing a junior orthopedic doctor do this, I am motivated. How did you go about this?
Wow, man.
That conversation led to me doing a 1-hour chat with him, to me understanding the kind of work he's doing in person in Chennai. Him inviting me for 1 week. I went there for a week. I stayed there with him for 1 week in his house, went to the OT each and every day, understood what he's doing. He liked me. I liked him. He offered me a 1-year stint. 3 months later, I moved there with my wife and we spent 1 year in Chennai.
Insane.
Having said that, funny story to that as well. In that 1 week, he asked me everything about content creation. Today, he has 2.6 million followers.
Wow.
Only creating Tamil health content. Now I ask him for content
Language
creation
tips.
tips.
This is crazy.
Now I ask him for content creation tips.
So he's become your guru in both ways now.
Both
huh?
ways. Now imagine if I have got a life-changing opportunity because I
Yeah.
put myself out there. Can you only imagine that every 3 months something like this was happening? I was entering a podcast I didn't know I would ever enter. I was getting a book deal. I was doing speaker events. I was getting paid to work with brands. I was getting this. For a doctor who's 30 to be getting these opportunities is very, very new because we are infants.
Correct.
We are
Correct.
infants in our journey.
In the
Yeah, yeah.
industry.
Who
yeah.
comes to a 30-year-old doctor?
Nobody.
Nobody. So for me, the ROI was in very, very different ways. So I'm probably not the best one to answer those questions. Now coming to the senior doctors who may say that, hey, I am busy 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Where is the time here for me?
Yeah.
Again, pre-ChatGPT era, very, very different. Post-ChatGPT era, very, very different. Today, I can, with the right prompts, get ChatGPT or any AI tool to analyze 10 competitors in the market. With the right prompts, I can, in minutes, get their 10 best videos. Ask ChatGPT to analyze why those videos succeeded, what worked for them. Ask it to create a strategy for my niche. Ask it to create scripts. Ask it to create the best hooks possible. Ask it to create captions. I mean, I could teach a 55-year-old doctor to put out 30 videos a month in 2 hours today. I could do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is wonderful.
I could actually
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah.
Again, because of AI.
Yeah.
So now they have actually no excuse. Back then, it was very, very different.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
journey of actually creating one viral video was very, very different, and I'm happy to talk about that. But I don't follow that journey anymore because I have to obviously do it much faster this way, right? We have tools to make it faster. Why won't we do that?
Correct.
So now, I don't think anyone has that excuse. If you invest 6 hours a month, you can find 6 hours a month because
Yeah.
that will show you an ROI in the number of patients you get. Which is why today we're seeing doctors put out content left, right and center. There's very few saying that मुझे इसमें अभी भी value नहीं दिख रही है. There's
Yeah.
very few actually saying that. They may say, हाँ ये मेरा game नहीं है. ये लोग जो करते हैं, ये लोग
Correct,
real
correct.
doctors हैं, real doctors नहीं हैं.
Yeah. There are.
They say
I've
all
met-
these
I've
things.
met such doctors.
They say all these things. You won't believe when I started, I have been mocked on orthopedic WhatsApp groups. इसके पास कुछ काम नहीं होगा तो ये कर रहा है. ये देखो हम हड्डियां जोड़ते हैं, ये लोग ये इस खाने पे आमला के बारे में रील बना रहा है.
You are the third
But,
generation doctor.
I am a third generation doctor.
Have
yes.
you ever been said that ये क्या कर रहा है?
Yeah,
तू ये रील
exactly.
बना
Your
के भाई
dad-
आजा हॉस्पिटल काम कर ले.
Not at all. In fact, my
Never?
family has been extremely supportive. My family has been extremely supportive, and they have only been proud of this because when they get to hear from their local people that मैंने इनका वीडियो देखा, मैंने इनका वीडियो देखा. Right now, every fourth patient coming to my dad, at least twice or thrice a day, someone will say, "We just..." So because obviously I've put my book is at the reception desk. Right, so there are patients who will walk in for him, surname, they will not join the dots. आजकल इतने creators हैं,
Correct.
and they'll see my face, then they'll see my name on my room door and his room door, and then they'll go in and tell him that we didn't know he's your son, we follow him, or we have seen his video, it's
Yeah.
come on WhatsApp, it's
Yeah.
come on this. That moment of pride that they get, they have
Yeah.
never really felt, that ये क्या कर रहा है.
you
So that way they've
earning
been
brownie
very
points at home.
100%. They're very, very impressed. They're very, very
Right.
impressed. Yeah.
Good.
You've been doing this for almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
And you charted the journey from 0 to 600K plus.
Yeah.
Now when you look back and say that, oh, strategically, I think these 3 things were something that really worked well for me.
Mhm.
What do those 3 things be?
What worked well for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one,
So reverse engineer the journey to 600K.
perfect.
Another way of asking this question is any doctor who is 30-year-old and is wanting to start content journey, like give a blueprint.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So number one, what I will say is, and I know this is very cliche and everyone says it everywhere, is consistency. I take a lot of pride in my level of consistency because I have had times when I have not grown for entire 1 year, but my consistency didn't drop even one bit. I swear I have gone from, and I remember this very, very clearly because it was a very painful painful as in not that way painful, but mentally frustrating period when I went from, I think it was July 2024 to probably April 2025, I went from 400k to 411k. That was my net positive growth. And that didn't mean my reach was down, but the unfollow rate was so high. And I have done so much experimentation in those 10 months, including going full Hindi, including trying a teleprompter to, really say things so I don't wander away to a different script. I've tried a lot. I wish I should have reached out to Manish Bhai at that time. Anyway.
No, but Doc, I'm sorry I'm breaking you here.
Sure.
But that was the period where actually everybody went through a crisis.
Fair.
Reason. That was the period when Meta went on bot crunching. So that's a technical fault. It's not your fault.
Fair.
Yeah.
ठीक है. But still, I could see people around me grow. Right? Oh. This is a time I have seen Prashant Desai go from 50k to 1 million. I have seen Revant build a beautiful community with a mission-driven purpose. So it's not that I'm sure their bots also got removed, but their positive was so high that the net positive still worked. Correct. So it's not that I didn't see people grow. Fine, he's right to a point. But there were times when I was like, yaar, what am I doing? Itne time now. That is when I started saying that, okay, now do I need to shift more effort online and start seeing patients? Because what is my ROI over here? I'm getting stuck. They keep talking about this, creator has a 3-year peak period. Uske baad niche ho jata hai, wo ho jata hai. Have I gone through that? So self-doubt and those things come in, but I stuck to the process. So any 30-year-old thinking that it's easy, it's not easy. It will be easier for someone, right? Like I have seen health creators go past me within those 4 years and cross 1 million. I have seen that also. But I have seen people who probably started before me, they're still not crossed 60k and they're still trying. So I can look at people above me and say, Kash, meri journey unke jaisi hoti. But then I look at people below me and say, hey, I'm not there, I'm here. So everyone's journey is different. Try and stay laser focused. So consistency is one thing. 2, and I have gone through this the tough way and now reach this point of not comparing myself with anyone. So this is something I will genuinely say is don't look at others in terms of growth because sabki journey alag hai. Correct. So second thing I have reached this point now is stay original and authentic to your style. There's no need to try and change your style because you saw someone else do something that worked for them. Your audience may not resonate with that. So that is definitely something else. And the third is put yourself out there beyond just being a person who's rattling information. Because right now the content creator saturation is so high. We've also reached a point in health where you don't need to be a doctor to speak health. जो वीडियो मैं बना रहा हूँ वो न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट भी बना रहा है, वो फिटनेस इन्फ्लुएंसर भी बना रहा है, वो आजकल मेडिकल स्टूडेंट भी बना रहा है, वो नॉन डॉक्टर जो नॉन फिटनेस है वो भी today they are waking up and saying I'm a health expert and doing it. People can do 3-month online courses and call themselves so and so. They write their some random online thing in the bio and they start. Anything is happening. So why should they listen to you over someone else? Why should they be associated with your journey over someone else? Today, fine, your 3 videos will go viral. Tomorrow, someone else's will go viral. So try and put your real self out there beyond just your health educator persona. So they find ways to like your personality more than someone else's, and your follower retention is much higher. They stay true to your journey. Tomorrow you suddenly pivot and start talking about knee health, they'll be interested in that also. You suddenly pivot and start talking about a brand that's giving health insurance, they'll be interested in that also. You won't lose people just because they followed you for one viral video. It's more community than followers, it's more fans than followers. Followers to aajkal sabke paas aa sakte. So I think these are the 3 things.
So what mindset or strategic approach that you have used actually moved needle for you?
So one thing, like I said, is I was chasing what others were doing during that period. What was I doing? I still remember, and I know doctors or senior people watching this will wonder, isne itna time isme dala hai, to actually patients ko kab dekha, but I have no shame in admitting. I have stayed up at night making Google Sheets of 10 to 15 Indian creators, 10 to 15 overseas creators in the health space who were doing things and analyzing. This is all pre-ChatGPT era, so I've done it the hard way, and making actual columns on pros, cons, what they did, what they didn't do, why do I think this worked, why do I think this not worked. There were 2-3 people whose opinion I take very, very seriously in the content space. I shared this Google Sheet with them. I said, can you quickly go through this? Tell me if you would like to add any point. Here, take edit access. At some point, 1-2 people were adding points. And then trying to see, okay, so these are 25 to 30 creators. Inke jo pros hai, can I emulate any of these pros and actually do that? And I picked out these 3-4 points that I started.
I love that.
But what happened was, it brought in a certain kind of audience that saw those kind of videos. But I eventually reached a point of burnout because that was not my style. And I was trying to do something that I cannot sustain, thinking, yaar, ek shoot mein to ye karna hi hai, ek mein to ye karna hi hai. Little more high-end effort, things which are not easy to do if you're not a full-time creator.
Correct.
And it brought in those people. And when those people saw, yaar, in 2 months, he's pivoted again to a new style. In 2 months, he's doing something different. And then I reached a point, I was like, yaar, ek saal se main bas kar raha hu, experiment kar raha hu. कहीं 400K से 410K पे गया हो. Now it's time I draw a line. Let me go back to what got me to 400K in the first place. Let me stay honest to my own craft. Let me stay honest to my own thing, because I can't keep thinking I'm outdated. There were times when I asked myself, am I outdated for 2024? Am I still making videos that did well in 2021, 2022? But those were the loyal audiences you built who are happy to see that.
Correct.
Just because I was scrolling too much and I was checking other people out too much, I was getting influenced by other people and trying to put their style into what I am doing.
Yeah.
And that never worked for me.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, nahi, now mindset shift. Go back to what Manan Vora was in 2022-23. How did you go from 0 to 400? Let's double down on that.
I think understanding why people followed you in the first place
Absolutely.
and what they want more of you.
Absolutely. I actually know quite a few of my long-term followers by name. I'm also someone who takes a lot of pride in replying to their DMs or their story reactions and all of that. There were at least 10 people I must have asked that how do you see my content now versus how did you see it back then? Take direct feedback from them. Now, you can't make a focus group and get into all that. That's a different thing. But I was actually asking them. And they were like, yaar, aap ye thoda alag kar rahe ho. Ye maza nahi aa raha hai isme. You know, and I was like, oh, you're not liking this? I thought this is working in 2024. Unka to video maine dekha. But India is so vast. India is so vast that there is an audience for everything. There is an audience that likes every type of style. There is an audience that likes every kind of video.
Correct.
So you don't need to go and tap into that audience. You build your own audience. Yaar, let's take 1 million as a number for success. I know even 600K is great. I'm just using the word 1 million because we have the M, thing in our head. 10 लाख लोग क्या है? कुछ नहीं है 10 लाख. इंडिया में 10 लाख आपको कहीं पे भी मिल जाएंगे. You're telling me that your own...
We're talking about 1.6 billion.
Correct. Yeah, so you're telling me that your own style, in your own manner, with your own originality, your own authenticity, your own credibility, can't get 10 lakh people or 15 lakh people or 20 lakh people to like you? I'm pretty sure you can find your own 10 lakh people. You don't need to chase someone else's 10 lakh people.
Correct.
So I love that insight. I think that's a great
just
line.
Just need to find 10 lakh to be successful.
This is exactly what I was trying to speak when we were recording with, I think, Viraj Ghelani. That when we were talking about regional content and stuff like that. And I said, dude, I mean, in India, 860 million people spend 3 hours on internet every day.
Wow.
3 hours on internet every day. Tell me one content creator who has 100 million follower or subscriber. There aren't. People are reaching up to 50, 55. One gaming creator recently reached 55. There is a channel with 65 million subscribers, but they also have a lot of, and it's a Malayalam channel, by the way. So it has a lot of, spillover and stuff like that. My point is, you will find your, what you said right now, so powerful that you will find your 10 lakh people anywhere in this country.
And that's
the superpower of our country. Like a lot of people on internet with phones, right? Like,
yeah, I think I'm going to steal that because that's very, very profound if you really think about it. So can you help me understand in terms of what your process look like today? Who all are involved, what your team structure is like, and then the actual process of, going from content idea to the final.
It starts with, first trying to identify what people are talking about right now. Okay, and again, not something very, very unique or something everyone doesn't know, but especially in health, with news evolving so fast now, things go viral on X, things go viral on LinkedIn, things, are spoken about here and there on Reddit for that matter. So one very important thing is the entire topical aspect that I have really doubled down on. So I am very, very active on X as a viewer. I'm not a creator on X. But the moment, and my feed is nicely tailored in a way where some things pop up and I'm like, okay, I need to speak about this. So that is one thing that definitely plays a huge role in being an inspiration for the kind of topics that I want to talk about. The second thing that I've become very bullish on is especially Indian startup ecosystem, and especially in the food sector. Right? We've got a lot of issues with FSSAI and all the regulations and everything when it comes to that. So some of my biggest videos over the last 6 months actually have been about the poor regulatory standards set either by FSSAI or lack of inspections in different dark stores, or whether any different sort of companies are cutting corners, or any products have failed lab tests and all of that. Again, you have to be very, very sharp and vigilant, because when it comes out, the entire nutrition and fitness creator space starts making videos about it. So it's literally a fastest fingers first situation. So that is, been a very crucial part of my growth in the last 1 year, because like I said, I went through a period of stagnancy around 400K, but in the last 10 months, I've gone from 400 to 600K. Again, far more success stories do exist, but considering my previous year, I think the last year has done pretty well. So keeping a tab on what is happening in the news, or if any post somewhere has gone viral, reaction videos on social media have become a very big thing. So I've tapped into those as well, because these memes go viral, or these things go viral here and there, and those videos get so many views that if you start your video with you watching a screen, watching that video, and then give your take on it, those are things that have actually worked very, very well for me. Coming to the structure and team, now it has reached a point where I have been able to create a team of 3 people that actually work towards what I put out online. This is something that I think I did very, very late compared to a lot of people. They outsourced it very, very quickly. But I always had that issue of, that I wanted to micromanage it to a point wherein if I anyway got people on board, my time involvement wasn't becoming lesser.
That's every content creator, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, since AI came in, my ability to trust humans has increased. Because they are using AI smartly. So I trust AI so much that now I can trust today a 22-year-old non-health background individual with a smart content brain to actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for me. Right? You may actually assume that, as a doctor creator, you probably will get an MBBS student to do it because they have more book knowledge and I would rather trust them. It's actually the other way around. Because I can trust AI to give me the best research, best knowledge, best depth, best reasoning, everything about a particular matter, and I would much rather take a non-health person who knows how to use AI smartly to be a part of my team and actually help me grow. So that shift and the ease with which, let's say, ChatGPT or any of the other platforms have come in have just made it far easier for me to save a lot of my time, because I have also trained my people how to use prompts when it comes to medical research. I have a series of questions that they ask before a video goes out. You won't believe it. SOP is there. I actually have a beautiful prompt which says, I am a health content creator and doctor in India. We live in a day and age where other creators are trying to find faults in my videos and make videos about them, which can risk my credibility and reputation. Here is a script that we have prepared that we plan to put up. If someone had to criticize this, find even 1% fault in it and tell me if there is anything wrong that someone can nitpick on or any word that someone can create an issue on that would risk my future on this platform.
Wow, beautiful.
Every script goes through this prompt.
Super good.
And finds the utmost tiniest of thing. You won't believe sometimes it catches things which I also have to reject. It catches things like, don't say this might happen. Change the word might. Something as small as that, it is picking up. Now, again, I know this is probably not a foolproof thing. Maybe sometime in the future, someone will catch something and create something. And everyone has today freedom of speech. I mean, they may find something that is not even a valid enough point and they may still criticize that also. So I can't control what others do. I can control what I put out.
I really like that.
Right? Now, if I have to trust today a 22-year-old non-health person with this entire script, can I do that without AI? I can't. I only have to go through the matter. Okay, now we also discussed how I am creating topics on health in general. I am not a know-it-all. I am not saying I know everything about health. I am also reading. I am also upskilling. I am also upgrading my knowledge.
Your level of understanding would be better than my or Vijay's, because you know the lingo.
No, and people talk about AI and say that कोई भी ChatGPT use करके अपना health solve कर सकता है.
नहीं,
Trust
नहीं.
me, a doctor using ChatGPT is very different from a layman using
Correct,
ChatGPT.
Absolutely.
totally.
It's very different.
Yeah.
So my ability to cut through the noise and quickly save 3 hours on a particular video using ChatGPT is far more than tomorrow you starting to make a video on gut health and trying to do it. You will still take more time even with ChatGPT.
Yeah, like the other day, I was playing around with Perplexity and doing some stock research.
Okay.
Okay. The bugger Perplexity said, "Haan, you can invest in this stock." Then my CFO did the same thing, and the same bugger Perplexity said, "No, don't invest." I'm
Don't
like,
invest.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Because my CFO definitely has more acumen of finance subject to ask more nitty-gritty based questions.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which breaks it down more.
Absolutely.
So I'm
And
like,
I think
okay.
also one of the things, when we're talking about prompts, there are two things that I really, really like, play with AI. And I think when I'm prompting, one is right off the bat telling it like, your job is not to please me.
Absolutely.
Because what you really
Yeah.
find is, it will try to sort of sugarcoat and fabricate it in a way that it will sound very kind to you.
Yeah.
Your job is not to put any biases. Your job is not to make me please me. Your job is to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then the response will be significantly
Absolutely.
different.
And I don't know, I'm assuming you guys will know this, but a lot of people won't know this. You can now go on ChatGPT, especially, and I keep mentioning ChatGPT because I use that. You can go in the settings and you can actually change the tonality of
Correct.
this thing. Like they actually have warm, or they
All-
have judgmental, or they
all
have
of them have now.
friendly.
Yeah.
You can actually maneuver it. There's a scale that you can apply
Yeah.
on what level of warmness or criticism you want.
Yeah.
And you can make it very, very harsh and very, very extreme.
Yeah.
So it doesn't treat you like a friend.
Correct.
It treats you like it's supposed to treat you,
Yeah.
and that's the way I want to be treated.
I'll give you one more layer.
Yeah.
What I found out, and this was just out of my mischief brain, I started jhagda lagawing between this thing.
Two
So
of them.
I went to Grok and I said, dude, this ChatGPT did a shit job. Can you do a better job? Okay? Then I went to ChatGPT and said, listen, Grok is far ahead of you. Bloody your company will shut down. Like I went to that level of saying that, dude, if Sam Altman is reading this, you are at risk. Bro, the result come very different.
Very different. Wow. Absolutely.
100%.
The other thing is, and I say this with, of course, health content, but this applies to content in general, is that we need to understand that at the end of the day, we have humans reading, we have humans watching your content, right? What do humans thrive on? They thrive on emotions, right? Your job as a content creator is to evoke an emotion in the person who's watching your video.
Yeah.
And the kind of emotion you evoke and in different stages of your video, whether it is short form or long form, will go a long way in the actual action they take after they watch your video.
Correct.
So sometimes I play around with AI over there as well. I say, give me 5 different hooks which will evoke different emotions in the person who's watching the video.
Yeah.
The other thing, and I heard Tanmay Bhatt say this in one of the podcasts, is that another smart way to go viral is when you go in one particular direction and then towards the end, you take a direction. Right? So if you see, there's this meme that says, had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
Correct.
So you go there, but you go here.
That's what thriller movies, right?
Yeah.
Thriller movies do that.
So
too, right?
again, you
It ends
have
with something else.
you have your audience hooked on till here saying, okay. Wait, what? Now I need to watch it till the end.
Yeah.
And then you have an option of evoking more than one emotion in that particular video.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's when you give them an action that up to decide कर तू ये share कैसे नहीं करेगा. Where you share, you decide. तू ये story पे डालेगा because you want to show something on your story, और तू DM पे share करेगा, वो अलग बात है. या तू comment पे तेरे 3 दोस्त को tag करेगा, वो तीसरा option है.
Correct.
But you evoke that particular emotion, you can play around with AI over there as well.
Yeah.
For example, if I want to make a viral video, I'll pakka choose a topic like vaping or I'll choose smoking,
Yeah.
because the ones who are not doing it will now send it to the ones who are doing it, saying मैं तुझे कब से बोल रहा हूँ ये बंद कर, और तू बंद नहीं कर रहा, देख अभी डॉक्टर भी बोल रहा है.
Yeah.
So you can pick one particular lane in on either extreme, and then you can do it in that way. Mode कैसे लोगे? Oh, so do this. Like, let's say I go towards vaping. Now, this is an example. It does not hold true for vaping, but let's say I speak 40 seconds on why vaping is bad. But if you do it once in a while, it's not the worst thing. It's not as bad as cigarette smoking. I don't believe in that, by the way.
Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
The person who's vaping now sends it to 6 people who are not vaping. And those who haven't watched it till the end are sending it to those who are vaping. So you evoke 2 separate emotions, and you took that mode which Tanmay Bhatt spoke about.
Yeah.
So
You've been doing this for a while. Let's talk about what are the kind of investments for a professional who's looking at and watching us, a lot of times they feel that, dude, I can't make this kind of investment. Whether you make an investment in terms of your time or in terms of money, I want to understand from you, what is the kind of investment, what is the kind of team, and how do you justify that kind of investment that you've been making in this, whether in terms of time, whether in terms of money?
Correct. It completely depends on how you value your time. It only depends on how you value your time. Because if you come from the health space or you come from any niche which is information heavy, आपको production value की तो ज़्यादा importance है नहीं.
Correct.
You don't need the fanciest things to set up. You don't need fancy locations. You don't need fancy backgrounds.
Yeah.
I think today's day and age, smartphones, decent cameras, so everyone has one small mic, because if you don't have clear audio, you're going to irritate people.
Yeah.
Silent room, clear mic, more than enough. Everyone has basic AI usage. So technically, you can do it alone. Now, if you have money or you are otherwise valuing the time you'll spend in figuring all of this out alone, you'd rather spend that time doing something else and making far more money doing it, or getting peace of mind and outsourcing it, then obviously investing into a team, investing into an agency that has all of this, or investing at least in a strategist and scriptwriter who's going to go through all these ChatGPT prompts, and of course an editor, because you're not going to sit and edit yourself. So it completely depends on that. Anyone starting out, the only advice I'll give is don't try to edit it yourself. I think that is a separate ball game only that you don't want to enter कि मैं जाके editing सीखूंगा, because as a health person, as a doctor, I'm pretty sure you're doing something else during the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Outsource the editing from day one. Everything else AI can help you. But if you can't even sit and go through that journey and you feel that getting an expert on board will really propel your journey, why not have an agency or someone who understands content? Just makes the strategy scripting process a little simpler. And if you're extremely lazy, you're in the third category. You have a videographer coming to your room or clinic or wherever, telling you ek din बैठो 3 घंटे में सब कर लो, which will generally cost you above $1 lakh at least in this country, in most metro cities, to get that level of production and editing and everything that goes out there. It depends how you value your time.
What is your process, and what is your investments like?
I am somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Because now I have a 3-member team. I have one person who looks after the strategy. I have one person who...
also define the role of each of these people.
Correct. So I have 3 people. One person only helps me find what direction we want to take in that particular month. Okay. I am heavily involved in this process as well, because at the end of the day, I find a lot of the topics as well. I don't sit and say, next महीने के 20 topic तुम मुझे भेज दो. I am also consuming content on various platforms. My algorithm and feed is also catered in a way where it tells me what I need to put out as well. So this person is like on my most frequently contacted on my WhatsApp, because I'm constantly talking to them. इस पे करना है, नहीं करना है, इस पे करना है, नहीं करना है. What are the shots we want to take? Right? Second person is the one who will end up actually doing the back-end work using AI, working on all the prompts, getting the script ready, sending it to the first person who will go through it, make certain changes, sending it to me. Once it comes to me, I'll probably give a voice note feedback, give it back to the first person. He works with the second person, refines it, sends it back to me. We edit it, send it to the third person, who's the editor. The third person who's editing will then send it to the first person, who will do a post-production quality check. Correct. One round of feedback with them comes to me. I may find something, not find something, or directly approve it. And then one of them has shared access account to upload it themselves. I still look into comments and DMs myself, because I feel that outsourcing that will make me lose touch with my community, which is not something I want to do.
Never do it.
Whenever I'm traveling, whenever I'm this thing, quick comment replies and all, because then वो medical related कुछ पूछ रहा है, वो फिर से या तो GPT को पूछेगा या तो मुझे पीछे पड़ेगा, reply करेगा in a language that is not mine. So I have just found कि वो part रहने दो. I still want to be associated with my community.
That's what makes you that content creator also.
Correct. Absolutely. Otherwise, you're just a news channel. No? You're just putting out the videos and not seeing what they are saying.
Like so, I have a point here in editing, and like you said that edit khud mat karo. I agree with you if you are a subject matter expert.
Yeah.
However, Instagram officially is going on top of its voice and yelling that Instagram now, and this I'm saying in 2026, I wouldn't have said this in 2025, 2024. They are saying,
yes,
Adam Bhau is saying that.
Adam Bhau.
Yeah, I call him Adam Bhau. It's cute. He's the head of Instagram. Yeah. He's saying that Instagram, they are trying to become an anti-editing platform.
Interesting.
That means they will not really push videos which are heavily edited. So they
are very polished.
Technically, they want edits app to be used more.
Obviously. Yeah.
Right? So to you also and to other content creators who are new watching this, maybe take it this advice till they again shout something else.
Absolutely.
That upload via edit app, it gives you some leverage.
Interesting.
No, I
And
think also,
Edit it through Edit's app,
Got it.
so that the effort also goes down. Your time invested in editing in Premiere Pro or Apple wale jo bhi use karte honge,
Yeah.
right? Time also comes down.
Interesting. No.
Yeah,
for
so I
sure.
think also to add to what he's saying, right? For subject matter experts, it can rather be very, very simple process of
Correct.
simply jotting down your thoughts and recording on edit apps itself
Yeah.
for short form content and simply putting it out. And we have more than enough examples of if you have something interesting to say,
Correct.
you will build crazy following.
Correct.
Sarthak Ahuja is a great example. This
Absolutely.
guy,
Auto subtitles and that's it.
even before
And
like
now
edit apps and
Meta
stuff
AI
like that,
has solved for the language also.
Language
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
and even before like edit apps and stuff like that, he would simply
Simple.
use like Instagram's auto caption and just
Yeah.
put that. His wife was doing the same thing,
I know.
Aditi, and that was like 2 years back, 3 years back. That's the
Absolutely.
story of 2-3 years back. Now, 1 month back, there is a guy called Jayant.
Okay.
So he brings a lot of interesting case studies and stories from the startups, particularly the ones that are filing the IPO and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he finds like the flaws in that and the stories and narrative.
Got it.
And he just simply, again, the same thing. He simply looks at his thing and just writes like one text on top of
Yeah.
it. Nothing else. He fumbles.
Yeah.
Not perfect, script per se, but the topic because of which, he's like in a month's time, he's 250K on Instagram.
Yeah.
Purely based on content. So I
But
think
this is probably top 1% of storytellers.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
we are discussing the success
Yeah,
stories.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
But you have to be very interesting and your story can't maneuver in a way where you lose their interest. So these guys are like master storytellers, and frankly,
more than that, I think it's also if you look at Sarthak, at one point of time, the case studies when there was like this whole phase on Instagram where everybody was doing the Coca-Cola or Pepsi case study and like the big companies
Yeah.
case study. He would bring the case studies that nobody was doing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is something that really stood out, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Correct.
topic selection. And right now, if you look at like startup stories, everybody is doing all sort of startup stories, but the kind of stuff that this guy brings out
Absolutely.
is insane.
Yeah.
There is another guy, Varun, right? Like Varun Agrawal. So this
Yeah,
guy,
of
he
course.
writes
Yeah.
carousel, like,
Yeah.
very
He's just
simple
and
Come back from
template.
his slumber and he's killing
Yeah,
it.
and like killing it on carousel because what he shares.
Like I
Is-
interact with Varun
Yeah.
almost every second day.
Okay.
And I tell him that, bro, keep at carousel. Like,
Yeah,
don't do video.
insane.
Like, do it.
So for a lot of industries, if you talk about finance, if you talk about health, if you talk about all this stuff, right? Like for example, finance creator, they get crazy kind of brand deals.
Yeah.
A lot of different kind of opportunities in terms of monetization and stuff like that. I want to understand, like, for a very successful doctor, what are the different revenue sources that you foresee or that you are experiencing right now?
Yeah. So, of course, brand collaborations, especially for short form creators, ends up being the topmost option or priority. Gets a little tricky with us when it comes to promotions because we're not allowed to endorse any pharma company. We're not allowed
Correct.
to endorse any medicines. We're not allowed to endorse anything of those direction that it goes in, which is funny because those who are not in that space are not regulated by a body, so they can do it. So
Yeah.
that's the funny situation that we live in
Right,
because
yeah.
anyone can become a health educator, do more health brands than us.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So one thing that we can technically go into is the nutraceutical industry, the supplement industry, or anything else that is, once you've built an organic following, technically I can do a athleisure brand, I can do a health insurance, and I can play around those as well. So definitely reduced opportunities. And once again, I would go back to the part where at the end of the day, I am facing a patient. I am facing people.
Yeah.
So I will have a separate filter compared to most people. Now, we also live in the Indian system of traditional medicine, modern medicine, Ayurveda, homeopathy / allopathy on one side. So now belief systems come into the game as well. The number of brands that work around herbal medicine, traditional medicine, plant-based medicine versus those that follow a more scientific approach. I don't want to piss off any community that follows those. But I also will have my own barrier that, hey, I am an expert in modern medicine. I am an
Correct.
expert in allopathy. So beyond the point, I'm not going to go into that because I don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
Probably I don't want to go and call it, oh, this is non-scientific and all. Again, I don't know enough about it to pass a judgment or
Correct.
comment on it.
Correct.
So you end up losing an entire industry of brands that are only going towards do this traditional thing, do this Ayurvedic thing, do this plant-based thing.
Yeah.
Again, there are some people who can cross that boundary and go there. So then you have those options as well. But it has still been a gray area that, people, there are still an entire section of doctors who do not like other doctors promoting brands. This is an age-old thought of how dare someone make money outside the clinic, right? We have rules in place that say that, oh, you cannot do this. You should not promote this. You should not do that. You have to make only this much amount of money with your time in a particular day.
Correct.
That exponentiality or scalability for a doctor's life is something that has not existed only.
Yeah.
Even the rules that currently exist by a national commission say that actually a doctor should not endorse anything.
Yeah.
But coming back to your question, of course, when it comes to short form content, brands are frankly your own thing. The second option you have is community building, right? You can have memberships, you can have subscriptions, you can go into that. So you can find a way to now channel your followers into being members of a particular club or particular community and charge a yearly fee, either a subscription basis or a one-time fee to enter that.
And what do they
where
get?
they get access to a lot more information about a particular niche. So you pick a particular problem. So let's say you're a skin influencer and you happen to be a skin doctor.
Okay.
Right? The only way in which you can, of course, make organic reels for all your followers. That's one option. Two is you can hope that people who see your reels organically click the link in your bio, consult you, make an online payment or come see you in person where you analyze their skincare and you then give them one particular thing. That's more of a one-to-one approach. Or you can try a community one-is-to-many approach where you say that, hey, join this community. I will be available once a week on a Zoom call or I have pre-recorded courses. I have a white-labeled app that gives you more information. Through this, you also can book a slightly costlier one-is-to-one because now you're a passionate community member. And here you will get all the perfect answers to how to look after your skincare at this particular age so that you don't age as much as you do. So you can go in that direction of building a more loyal community because these are people who will never come to you in person. They're not going to travel and come to you. You found a medium to reach lakhs and millions.
Correct.
You're taking efforts to create content for lakhs and millions. When will you monetize from them? And you are really serving a need. They won't come to you and pay you unless you're actually serving a need. Because for them to locally go find a doctor, pay them 3,000 rupees instead in 999, they're getting 1 month access to you or 1 year access to you. So that's at a scale level you can approach that element as well.
Basically, Dr. Vora's, will be arthritis club.
Absolutely. It's called Pain-Free Club.
It's
called Pain-Free Club.
Yeah.
So we've just onboarded 122 members in our first month.
Wow. Wow.
So it is of course
Can
a
you talk
business.
a little bit about that? What
Absolutely.
exactly is that
So
Pain-Free Club and what are you offering there?
Pain-Free Club is my mission-based club that I've created to find 1 million knee pain patients and help them live a life without knee pain and an improved quality of life promoting movement. Because I, as an orthopedic surgeon, am fundamentally against the concept that anyone aging after 40, 50, 60 should actually restrict movement. I want to promote movement.
Bro, I am joining your club because I run every day.
Please.
Every day. Like without fail.
Done.
And I know for sure that I'm going to screw my knee. And I know it.
So we have members as young as 32 also, even though I'm actually promoting it in the sense of people above 40, 45, 50. But they are coming in from...
He still qualifies for that.
Yeah, he still qualifies. He's just 33. So he still qualifies. But
No,
he's
I'm
40.
I'm 40 now.
I know, I'm joking. So the point is that, hey, I want to just take my principles of prevention and deliver them to a community that is not in an urgent need for going to a doctor tomorrow and getting operated.
Is it an online course, live cohort?
It's absolutely online. It's absolutely online. They get access to my team of physios, my team of yogis. We have a nutritionist guiding them. You have once a week access to me. You have a white labeled app which has pre-recorded courses. Everything is systematically put at a very nominal fee.
Which is
9,999 for life.
Oh wow.
So you get
Not
once
bad
a week
at all.
access to me.
I'm paying today.
Done. So I've not kept it very, very low ticket because I do want a serious clientele.
It
a
is
serious
low
clientele.
ticket. Technically
it is low ticket.
It is low ticket.
Technically it is low ticket because when you go for any yoga sessions or physio sessions, you're paying per session.
1,500 rupees, 2,000 rupees minimum.
Exactly. So it's not like a 1,999 product, but it's also a lifetime membership to a community. Of course, we will have higher programs to those who are interested, those who are in higher need,
who needs
one-to-one
specialized-
customization, all those things will come. But that is my online venture to cater to people at scale, those who will not come to my center, which is coming up in 5 months, and see me in person.
Yeah,
I
but
think this is a
that
great
is a
example.
100 crore business. I can see it, like, at least I can do maths in my head. It is a 100 crore business in 5 years, if
Hopefully.
not 3 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And
But-
also, I think that's a great example for,
Yeah.
doctors creating content, how you can go beyond your clinic,
Yeah.
how you can go beyond, like, how many surgeries can you attract? Or even if you attract, like, if you're booked 100% of the times doing surgeries,
Yeah.
but that can only, there's like a ceiling to it, like on how much revenue
this is
you
the
can make as
only
a-
way I
yeah.
can scale without trading my time.
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
the
plus
only way.
on top of
Correct.
that, he will also get distilled patients,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not everybody with a knee pain should run to his clinic and say, Doctor Saab, operation kar do.
Absolutely.
If there are 20 ways of non-surgical ways of treating it, it's always better not to get under Caesar, right?
Absolutely. And as a surgeon,
Yeah.
I'm promoting that.
Yeah.
As a surgeon, I'm saying that
Correct.
I'm not saying I'm anti-surgery.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-knee replacements.
Yeah.
But do them only when they're actually
Absolutely
required.
needed.
Manan, you spoke of getting a book deal, that too with Penguin, which is one of the respected publishers, not only in India, but across the globe. And earlier, if you looked at like your father's generation or the generation before us, the way to build a credibility is to write a book. They used to say that instead of giving your visiting card, hand over a book and that will change the perception of the person about you.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have now done with the reels and stuff like that, or the content. You have done both. So when you put that book on your reception, and when people walk into your clinic and they see that, oh, he's also an author, how has that sort of changed the credibility? And when you compare that with reel, I would love to really understand that from you.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely made a difference, especially in the 45 plus age community.
Okay,
the ones who are not extremely addicted to short form content and extremely with lower attention spans. They actually still read newspapers, they still check out magazines, and they actually pick up the odd book. That generation has viewed me very, very differently now. The second thing is, I wrote my book before ChatGPT became ChatGPT. So I feel I actually went through the grind and it came out just before ChatGPT became mainstream. Of course, AI has been existing, but it wasn't being used the way it is now. So I got a nice 6 to 8 months period where that appreciation of actually being an author and going through the grind was really felt. Nowadays, I can decide how many words I want, and within 5 minutes, that can be generated. Now, the publisher comes in as an added bonus, right? Because nowadays it's not very difficult to self-publish a book and remove 1,000 copies, wait for it to get sold, then get the next 10,000 printed. But when you go with a Penguin or a HarperCollins, the entire approach of the opposite person is very, very different. The level of distribution they have, when your book is on a bookshelf at an airport,
correct,
that level of satisfaction a 20 million views reel will not give you.
Totally.
Agreed.
And that amount of respect when your friend or someone you know clicks a picture and sends it to you, that feeling is totally different. You can't measure that in a different view or virality.
Yeah, that's
right?
why Vijay Gautam is also doing a book.
So that is the level of the fact that you are with a topmost publisher, and you've written a book and gotten the respect of the reader community, which may not necessarily be the short form video content consumption community. And similarly, I also noticed that again as a reality check when I launched my book, the sales weren't as great as I expected, because your video consumption community isn't going to sit and read a book. And getting an Indian to even remove 250 rupees for a book is also not easy to do. Right? So we learn those things also the hard way. But definitely a journey I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm very, very glad I did. And I had no intention of becoming an author, right? It was Penguin sliding into my DM and telling me, hey, let's do this. And I was like, if I say no, someone else will do it. So wo FOMO ke chakkar mein maine kar liya. But definitely something, I would recommend. It's not about choosing one of them. Karna hai to you have to kind of find your niche and put your authority everywhere.
I have, a fundamental question around the type of content that you do. Now, for anybody who comes across your profile and they look at your profile and they will like, oh, okay, he's an orthopedic surgeon, but why is he talking about anything else that has got nothing to do with orthopedic, right? So, how has that been perceived, and what was your thought behind saying that I'm going to talk about health, not only about this?
Perfect. So, when I started in last quarter of 2021, we were in the middle of the second COVID wave and all those things. So I actually the reason why I actually started making content is because when I was seeing people make content, I could see makeup influencer, a travel influencer, a food blogger, everyone tried to find a way to talk about COVID because those were the kind of videos that were getting views. Everyone was sitting at home, spending way more time on their screens, seeing यार क्या चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है. I'm sitting there saying, COVID के बारे में ये क्यों बात कर रहे हैं? Right? That time doctors creating content,
Correct.
were probably less than 5 names I could take at that time.
नहीं
okay?
थे.
नहीं थे.
I mean, I believe you were the first doctor who spoke to me.
Correct.
Saying कि sir मुझे content बनाना है. And I was like, wow, this is great.
Absolutely.
I remember that Gurgaon house you had come.
Yeah.
On that table I was sitting, and one day he got his DM and we got on a call, and then second
Correct.
time when I spoke to him I was in Bombay.
Yeah, and I
So-
actually visited the Tag Mango creator pad only
Yeah.
because he was there and I
Correct.
wanted to
Yeah.
speak to him in person. So again, so say my process is a little more meticulous in the sense that I
Yeah.
plan a lot, I strategize a lot, I analyze a lot. So I guarantee you at that time most doctors would not even know who Manish Pandey is, but I knew.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I had done my research. I knew कि यार content के बारे में सीखना है या कुछ भी inspiration लेनी है या कुछ भी insight लेना है, ये शायद he gives me 3 minutes of his time and says 2 sentences that may change the direction in which I go.
Correct.
And that same thought stands even today. That's the
Yeah,
amount of
absolutely.
respect I have for his journey and his insights. But I could probably name 3-4 people who had started before me. Sometimes I wonder I wish I'd started 10 months before. I
Sid
would have
Warrior
probably
started.
been Sid Warrior
Yeah.
started before Sid Bhargava started, Dr.
Yeah.
Cuterus had started. These guys
Yeah.
had started before
Yeah.
me. Absolutely. But keeping in mind that journey, I started mainly because I saw that यार कोई भी बना रहा है कोविड के बारे में वीडियो, तो why should I not do it?
क्योंकि मैं तो पढ़ रहा हूँ ये सब.
मैं तो पढ़ रहा हूँ यार, हम तो we are keeping ourselves updated, तो मैं ही बात कर लूँ.
Yeah.
So I started with that. Got a lot of traction in the first few months, and since then, till date, I haven't been able to look back.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, the moment I exhausted a few of COVID videos, the moment I realized, यार, now people know why यार mask पहनना है, हाथ धोना है, इससे ज़्यादा कितना वीडियो मैं बनाऊंगा?
Yeah.
I cannot milk this beyond the point.
Yeah.
So like, chalo, what do I specialize in? Let's start talking about this. When to use ice, when to use heat. When you go to the gym and after very, very long, you get this soreness, 2 days, you're holding your muscles. What can you do? What should you do? Why does this happen? I realized over time, in 2 months, that the TAM is very, very small. Now, why is the TAM small? Because the main people scrolling on social media between the age of 15 to 35, at
Yeah.
least on Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube is a different game.
Correct.
YouTube is a search-based platform. Jisko dard hai, they are looking for solutions.
They are looking for it. Yeah.
Right? Now, I have never been a long-form creator. Even now, I've barely touched into long-form. I
Yeah.
still want to do it at some point, but I haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
I've been a short-form creator. I realize these videos are not getting views.
Correct.
But the moment I'm speaking about general health, that how should you probably lose weight? How should you keep yourself fit? How should you do something that applies to today's 18 to 35-year-old? Everyone's interested. Now, again, I come from a niche that is not so exciting for the 18 to 35-year-old because generally, unless you get injured or break a bone, most of the problems start above 35, above 40, where your back pain start, your neck pain start, arthritis starts, slip disc happens, generally above the age of 40.
Yeah.
This age group is predominantly on WhatsApp or predominantly on Facebook, still scrolling, or they are searching on YouTube. The moment I realized these videos are not working, I was like, okay, now let me take a step back. What else do I have to offer? Now, I am someone who's been into health and fitness all my life. I literally see each and everything that I consume.
Correct.
Right? When your team asked me, what do you want? I didn't say Starbucks so-and-so. Right? I just literally said black coffee because that is how I am.
Yeah.
I'm not putting on a show. I try to be as healthy as possible. I try to exercise as much as possible. I make my family do that. I practice what I preach. And all of these things are required in preventing joint and muscle disorders as you age.
Yeah.
If your body weight is ideal, if your protein intake is high, if your bone density is good, your muscle mass
Everything
is high,
is connected.
chances of you not getting orthopedic problems are higher. At least the chronic pains. Abhi aap football khelte, ACL tear ho gaya, wo to freak injury hai. That's a separate thing. Right? So I was like, okay, let me go towards the preventive side. Instead of telling people 3 reasons why you should not get your knee replaced or 3 things to do after your knee replacement happens, why don't I speak about preventive health, which involves eating better, moving more, sleeping better, watching your mental health. That is when I expanded myself to health in general, rather than go into a niche that caters to the senior age group, which is not available on Instagram. And then I got positioned as a health educator in general, got a book deal also. I started creating on LinkedIn very, very early.
Yeah.
Today I am probably the most followed doctor in the country on LinkedIn by 5 times. By 5 times.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
And my LinkedIn numbers are through the roof.
Yeah.
My LinkedIn post gets
I think
more
that's how-
views than my average Instagram reel,
Yeah.
which is saying a lot.
Yeah. I think I discovered you on LinkedIn, not on
Absolutely.
Instagram.
Absolutely. So I have been someone who's tried to stay ahead of the curve as much as possible, trying to play within the boundaries that my profession keep me in, fully knowing that if I kind of went around the boundary line once in a while, I could get higher numbers, but I haven't been able to do that. So that's been the journey of going health educator centric rather than orthopedic centric.
But what I pick from this is if 5 years is what MBBS is, right? Your
5.5.
5.5
4.5 plus 1 year internship.
Plus I think your first 2-3 years is general health before you dive into
Correct.
specialization.
No, so in a way, 4.5 years you go through each and every subjects which people do specialization in. So you don't specialize at all. 4.5 years is technically full general MBBS.
General
only.
MBBS.
So
Absolutely.
basically, you have authority on anything that you are speaking.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it makes total sense
Yeah.
in his case. And what I really liked in whatever you said, Dr. Vora, is if you have good mental health and good physical health, then obviously your knee problem, your bone problem is not happening.
Absolutely.
So you technically are coming back and touching your specialization also.
Absolutely.
I want to really double click on what you said about going like more of a wider content piece than going specific, and I would like to understand your objective with that as well, right? Like you said, if I'd just done like content on orthopedic or the knee and joints and back pain and stuff like that, maybe the Penguin book deal wouldn't have happened,
I don't
because
think so.
that would have been much smaller, or maybe you wouldn't have gotten opportunities to speak at the table at like conferences and whatnot, right? Like all those kind of opportunities in the pure educator creator rooms is where
Correct.
possibly you would not get those opportunities. But don't you think that if when you have specialized in that one thing, the people who essentially are looking for, like, even if 15 to or 20 to whatever 35 are not there on Instagram, but their parents are there, and when their parents are saying that, dude, I have my like whatever knee and this problem and stuff like that, I know exactly whom we should be talking to. What was the objective that you were looking at when it comes to education? Was it to get people from Instagram to your clinic down the line? Or it was, no, I want to be known for, I want like a general visibility for myself, an educator. How did you sort of take that call?
So I'll be very honest. For the first 3 years, until I really understood.
You started this in 2020?
I started this in 2021 September.
2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
2021 September.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest, till 2024 began, I have never worked with an end objective in mind.
Okay.
It has genuinely been, I want to selflessly put out the information that I have or I have acquired because I have been forced to up my knowledge game.
Yeah.
Because I'll be very honest with you, they teach us very, very little of nutrition and very, very little of exercise in MBBS. And I have no
Right.
shame in admitting that.
Yeah.
Which is why I have the utmost respect for fitness trainers, physiotherapists, nutritionists who all go deeper into that.
Yeah.
I have been forced to up my knowledge in each and every one of these domains, which I frankly did not even know enough about in my regular curriculum. Of course, being into orthopedics, you get taught about joints and muscles, but again, you get taught about the pathology. You get taught about what to do when it goes wrong. And each part of my information or everything about me has been, I can help you ensure you don't come to me in the first place.
Wow.
So my entire mission has been that I am selflessly giving information out there that all you need to do is try and follow this so that you don't need me. It has never been, let me put 5 pieces of content out ताकि जब कुछ हो जाए आप हमारे पास आ जाओ. And that approach, without me trying, has made me seem far more trustworthy and far more approachable.
Correct.
For when something actually goes wrong.
Correct.
So while you may say that, Dr. Manan, you didn't put yourself out there as an orthopedic expert, don't you feel if you had gone deeper into that, people would know exactly there to come to you? Trust me, it allowed me to reach a wider TAM, talk about what I do in my stories, talk about what I do in my bio, put links whenever required. And they did reach out to me when they wanted those issues solved and when they wanted.
Yeah.
Yes, you may say that, hey, but do you know if you had directly done this, you would have had 20% more patients? Probably. But it is not a path that I ever regret taking because I still feel I have genuinely enjoyed this prevention journey more than the cure journey. And it's allowed me to just reach far, far more people. So I wouldn't go back and change that even if I had the opportunity right.
Super. I think this has been a great conversation, Manan. And I think for any professional, whether it's a doctor or engineer or a lawyer or whosoever,
Subject matter expert.
Matter expert, for them, this conversation has a lot of takeaways in terms of how you can technically not trade your time, and content enables that. That has been the biggest takeaway for me, that if you don't want to trade your time and just like earn, I put X amount of time and get Y return.
Yeah.
If you want to change that equation, then content can be a great play for you that can enable this when you're talking about the community that you are building and reaching out to 1 million people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you could have been a great doctor in Juhu.
Yeah.
And attract like maybe people in Bombay or maybe like, some of the cities
I still
nearby.
plan on doing that, guys.
Yeah.
But yes,
of course, you still.
the idea is having the concept that a doctor can have more than one source of income.
Correct.
Like, for example, last week I was unwell.
Correct.
And I know for a fact that while I did lose out on physically seeing patients and making that money, I have 2 more sources of income that don't rely on me being present in a particular place.
Correct.
Next month, I'm off to Andamans for 6 days. I know those 2 sources, income doesn't stop.
Correct.
Third source, it stops.
That's what passive income means, right? That's
Yeah.
what creating
multiple sources.
Multiple. I wouldn't call it passive. It's still active.
It still takes a lot of effort.
It would take effort and time. But at least it
Having the
creates
multiple revenue
different
sources.
channels which didn't exist for a
Correct.
doctor back then.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
your
think-
book going off shelf has nothing to do with you taking holiday in Andaman or being unwell. for some
Absolutely.
Or
reason.
somebody buying an online
Yeah,
course that you
correct.
have created and put
Yeah,
out
yeah.
has
That-
nothing to do
Because
with
I don't
correct.
think the book is a very money-making process.
No,
Yeah.
but it's as
But
he
yes.
said, right? That handing over a visiting card versus handing over a
Absolutely.
book is
Yeah.
way different.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, you rightly said that this whole conversation, not just medical professionals, but any subject matter expert can actually take a lot of notes. And nothing should stop you from creating content in 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30. I mean, you are doing disservice to yourself and crying. If you are saying that अरे वो grow हो रहा है मेरा, तो तुम करो भाई. क्यों? What
Yeah.
is stopping you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think to sum it up, when I used to, tell people, I ran the podcasting course since 2018 till 23. And one of the most common things that I used to tell people was, in the room of 200 people, I used to say that how many of you here at least know one person where you feel that the person has less knowledge, who has got less amount of experience, but is well known and making more than you, and everybody would raise a hand,
Raise a hand. Yeah.
and say that I know at least some of people. And
Yeah.
I think, I used to tell them that it's not, it's not, you are doing disservice, like he was saying, right? You are doing disservice to yourself by not showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the well-known always beats the person who knows well.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, and I keep saying this everywhere. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
It's for breakfast.
It doesn't
As simple
matter.
as that.
It does- and in today's day and age, there is no shortage of means to understand how to work hard.
Correct.
You can open YouTube and educate yourself on absolutely anything.
Anything,
There are
yeah.
courses out there to learn and pick up absolutely anything.
Bro, robotics and you can become a bloody astronaut level knowledgeable person just by watching YouTube videos.
YouTube,
Man.
absolutely.
Thousands and thousands of hours of content on any subject given.
Absolutely.
Right? You can use it for good and bad. So
Yep.
choose for good.
Super. Dr. Manan, we have one last question which we
Sure.
ask to
Yeah.
all of our guests.
Okay.
So she's going to hand over the notepad.
Okay. What do I
So
have
the
to do?
question is, imagine you have accomplished whatever you wanted to accomplish as a content creator. You have made all the videos, you have hit all the numbers, you have built the community to the level that you wanted to take it. You have accomplished whatever you wanted to accomplish.
Your Juhu hospital is done.
Yeah, it's done. Everything
All
is
of it,
done.
yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, this is the last ever video that you are going to put out on internet. Now, if you were to create that video for creators or the professionals who's looking at creating content, if you were to summarize everything that you have learned in this journey, and
Okay.
you want to pass that as a one piece of wisdom for them for this journey, what is it that you will tell them? You can write it, you can sign it, and then you can
So
share
this
with
is,
us all.
I have to create one final video.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
your last video on internet. Like
and
you're
this is-
hanging your boots from content creation.
Okay.
And this is
Yeah.
the last piece of advice that you want to give to people who are going to do the content creation.
Okay. So I have to write it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the video will be titled How I Traded My Time, Money and Energy to Buy Happiness.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I think at the end of the day, what are we all striving for? We're striving to be happy.
Yeah.
And how do you be happy is when you use these three elements that I like to call time, money and energy to actually reach a point of self-joy, self-appreciation, happiness, be it spend time with loved ones, spend time with yourself, travel the world, do your hobbies, build your path, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what did I do to use these three things to actually buy happiness and be content with myself and my journey. That's what I
Nice.
would talk about.
Great.
Super.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. So, my team has put together a bit of a collage,
Memory lane for you.
memory
sweet.
lane for you,
Yeah.
and a journey which I'd like to present to you.
Okay.
It says Dr. Manan Vora's milestone wall.
Okay.
So here you go. I'll
How
pass it to
sweet.
you.
Wow.
Yes.
That kind of tries to cover your journey till
How
now.
sweet. Thank you so much. Yes. Wow, it's been a while.
That's Vijay's team's magic. Also, we have a box of medical products for you,
Okay.
but content medical products.
Yeah,
Okay.
content medical products. This is from our good friends at Digitek who
Okay,
makes
lovely.
it possible for us to do this
Yes.
show. And this one, I think one of the things, Manish bhai, I'll show you. You have not also seen this. I also noticed this the other day. Yeah, I'll give it. But so this looks like a bottle. But one thing that I really liked yesterday only, I discovered this. We've been giving this for like last 15 episodes.
Okay.
And what I really noticed is this actually
MagSafe.
is like
MagSafe,
it's like a MagSafe.
Oh.
So
To
you
record
can
your
put it on your
videos.
table, put the phone, and you can. This
the
acts as like a
record.
stand.
Yeah, I want this box
This
also.
yes, you'll get it. And this is like a MagSafe. You can put your phone here and you can shoot your content, which is super cool. And then there is also the same thing with also like the power bank.
Oh, wow.
This is the new power bank that these guys have come up with.
Yeah.
And this again has this thing.
Wow, that's
So
smart.
this
Huge
becomes like
stand.
a
That's smart.
stand on
That's
your
Yeah.
thing, which is super cool. So we'd like to present this to
Tiny,
you.
tiny things really
Absolutely.
like.
Yeah.
No, and I'll be very honest again. You guys haven't told me to say this, but when I started my content creation journey, second half of 2021, the first investment I made was a 2100 rupee Digitek ring light,
Wow.
which served me till 18 months ago
Hmm.
when I upgraded to a Digitech umbrella light.
Hmm.
So I have
So we're
stuck
using
with
one
the
of these
brand
here.
for
Yeah.
the lighting purpose for sure.
We'll ensure that
And,
this brand sends you something then.
Done.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I still use it and
Yeah.
I mean,
been very, very
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
with it. Yes.
yeah, super. We'd like to present this to you. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
Really
for having
appreciate
me.
it.
It's an honor for
Yeah.
me to be here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Also, Dr. Vora's books link, we'll put it in the description.
How sweet. Thank you.
So that people who can watch can also buy the book and also educate them in medical things, not just content thing.
How sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot
so
for that.
that-
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
Super.
you.